So, good afternoon from Cozumel. I'm here with Warren and Judy, and they're giving us some information about cost of living from Cozumel, and we just want to find out a little bit more. Warren posted it on his Facebook, but it's good information, and I'm doing a follow-up with the two of them this afternoon. So if you can stay and watch this, or you can also see it on the YouTube channel, which is going to be linked up very shortly. And I'll also link in Facebook the notes that Warren had done on his Facebook page. So Warren, first question was, why is it a little bit why you decided to do this research?
Well, when we moved here 10 years ago, we didn't have a lot of help and there wasn't a lot of information. So what we wanted to do was try to help people so that when they do come here, they at least have some information to work with.
Well, you did your research, that's for sure. And I'm sure Judy was right by your side, right?
Always.
Yeah. All right, so let's start with some of those facts that you did. And you chose Texas.
I'm going to cheat with my, actually I chose the U.S. in general.
Okay.
Not Texas, but we're working with U.S. dollars here, so we don't want to confuse people with two currencies,
Pesos.
dollars and pesos.
Okay.
We'll just do dollars.
And I posted what that is today, which is different than, a little bit different than what his post was when he did it January 22nd. Okay, Warren, give us your notes.
Okay. First thing I looked at was private health insurance for a married couple. And what I found was in the U.S., I found an average policy, full coverage, for $1,700 a month with a $10,000 deductible for a married couple. And what we pay here in Cozumel for our private health insurance here in Mexico is $275 full coverage monthly with a $7,000 deductible. So that's about comes to about $3,300 a year.
And that's for both of you?
For both of us.
Okay.
Full coverage, much less expensive than the U.S. And then, of course, if you're retired in the U.S., you can have Medicare, but unfortunately, Medicare is not a good option here in Mexico. Most people do not accept Medicare here.
Okay. I'll post some links about some of that Medicare and Mexico as well.
Sure.
So let's, and Judy?
On the healthcare, from experience from healthcare here, for the most part, everything that I've had done here, between teeth cleaning, mammograms, chiropractic care, regular doctor's visits, the healthcare here is better than what we had in the United States, in my opinion, but it's also about the same cost as our copay. So if I went to a chiropractor in the States, it was a specialist, and the copay with our health insurance was $60. When I go to the chiropractor here, it's out of pocket, but it's about $40. So it's cheaper than my copay was paying for those health, that's in addition to paying for those health care protections. And that's what I found on almost everything that I've had done here.
And you've had some experience, because you both have lived here for
10 years.
10 years. And so that was part of the motivation, they said, for doing some of this, is because it was by guessing golly that they ended up having to find all this information out, and we appreciate the time that you spent to do the research too. So that was a little bit on dental cleaning too, you've got.
Yeah, dental cleaning, I did my research. Dental cleaning in the U.S. runs about $145 if you're paying out of pocket. Here in Mexico, it ran, the last time I had my teeth cleaned, it was $45.
Okay, that's reasonable.
Cavities, the U.S. average cost is $200 for a cavity. Here in Mexico, it's $45. Crowns in the U.S. would run about $1,200 U.S. In Mexico, a crown, I checked with my dentist, and it's about $350.
For a crown, okay, wow. Well, that'll make you motivated to get your teeth cleaned while you're here. You can do also that on a vacation too, right?
Sure, absolutely.
And your dentist's name is, who do you use?
Nora.
Nora, okay, sure. We have quite a few dentists that are on the island, and definitely these prices that they're quoting are reasonable for any means of any of the dentists. And they're also a professional organization. So go ahead and share a little bit more about the next, which is gas.
Okay, yeah, gas, that's the one thing that actually costs more here in Mexico. Gas in the U.S., as of today, the average cost of a regular gallon of gas is $3.28. Here in Mexico, it's averaging $5.90. So we've always paid.
$5.90? No wonder I didn't get full today.
Maybe. And then car wash detailing by hand in the U.S., I can run $100 to $200. Here in Mexico, it's $15 to $25.
Okay, there you go. That's a benefit.
Another thing about getting a lot of the services here in Mexico is you don't have to go anywhere. Most people have a guy and the guy's number, and you can call the guy and he will come to your house and detail your car for you. Only thing you're supplying is the water. He's bringing everything else. But almost all the services here in Mexico, they will come to your house and do it.
So you don't lose the whole day getting something done at a reduced price by
And
far.
another thing, back to the medical, doctors here in Mexico still make house calls.
Oh, yeah.
That doesn't really happen in the U.S. anymore. Very rarely, I would say.
And even when they do, the price is still incredibly reasonable, right?
Yeah, it really is. And then internet in the U.S., internet runs about 80 plus taxes. Here in Cozumel, we pay $24 a month with tax for our internet.
Is that by chance Telmex that you have? Okay, it's a different provider. Oh, Izzy, okay. There's several providers now in Cozumel. Used to be that you had to have a landline before you could actually even get internet, and that's all different now. And the internet's fairly fast, right? No
Yeah.
complaints?
I mean, she worked for the first 6 months we lived here. And
Did the internet?
yeah,
Internet
that was
worked
10
fine.
years ago.
Okay,
And it was fun.
wow.
We just recently changed to this plan. The plan we were on previously included cable, a home landline, and internet. And that one was about $35 a month.
Wow.
And that included a landline that would call anywhere in Mexico, Canada, or the United States.
And in that, you did get some US channels too?
We've never, ever, we're not
Never
TV
used
watchers,
cable. We're
so
movie
we've never
watchers.
hooked up our cable, which
Okay.
is why we just changed to this other plan.
Refreshing, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, and then cell service. In the U.S., it's going to run about $95 for 2 phones. Here in Mexico, through AT&T Mexico, we pay $24 a month for 2 phones, and that's unlimited calls and text within North America. And then you get about 3 gigs of data with that.
Okay. Well, there are several other options in that, and Telcel is one of them, which is large in Mexico, and that's the plan that I personally have, and it's works either which way. Now, you can have a U.S. phone here. You don't need a Mexican a phone. Now, dear to our heart is, what's this new one's name?
Bella.
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 So this is Bella. Bella's new to the family, newer. So what do we have for Bella for dog grooming?
Bella, for dog grooming, she's a smaller dog. But in the U.S., it's depending on the breed and the size of the dog, it can be $60 to $120 to get a dog groomed in the U.S. Here in Mexico, we paid $22.
Pay 150 pesos, like $17.
$17
For a full groom.
to groom up Bella here.
Yes.
Well, Bella's worth it, and that's a whole bunch less, including, did you talk about vet care?
I didn't talk about that here.
Huge less.
Oh, huge. It's worth to, if you were coming for any length of time for vacation, it's worth to go ahead and pay the fee to bring your dog down, have their teeth cleaned, have any of their vet care done, have their shots, everything updated here. When we first got her, she had a pancreatitis attack and spent 3 days and 3 nights in the hospital here. In the States, that would have been between $5,000 and $7,000 between the hospital Here it was approximately $300.
Huge difference, huge. Well, Bella, we're glad you're home.
And she spent 3 nights in the vet hospital.
In the hospital with vet care.
Can I ask who's the vet?
Yes, Dr. Edith from
Oh,
Amvet.
sure.
Yes.
Excellent choice.
Yeah, very good.
And we do have more vets than we did even back then, so a lot more choices. However, they still haven't done anything significant enough on their price that you even come close to doing the US, right, Bella?
Correct.
Okay, what we got? Amazon. I love that you said this.
Amazon Prime membership in the U.S. is $15. Here in Mexico, we paid $6 for an Amazon Prime.
Can I ask you, how often do you guys use Amazon?
We don't use it that often. We know people that use it almost every day. So we do order things from Amazon Mexico, and you know they have a distributor just right over in Playa del Carmen. So even if you don't pay for it next day, a lot of times you get it next day.
Oh, I see.
'Cause it just has to come over on the ferry.
But again, in the past, 10 years ago, right?
Yeah,
Did you
10
have
years ago.
Amazon? No.
No.
And
So
we didn't have the choices in the grocery stores then.
it's
We're
amazing.
also neither one really big shoppers, so, you know, we have friends that if they don't have something in their Amazon cart being delivered, they almost feel depressed.
Oh,
But an example of Amazon Mexico, when we first moved here, I wanted the thick memory foam topper for our mattress. And I had some friends coming from the States that said they would bring it because they were driving. It was $300 at Walmart in the States. I had it delivered to the door in less than a week for $159. And it looks to be the same topper.
I'll be darned.
So, half price.
Yeah, definitely. And shopping. That's another one that you've got here is a Costco membership.
Yeah, and that in the U.S., it's last time I checked in the U.S., it was $60. Here in Mexico, a Costco membership is $29. So once again, a pretty big difference there. That's more than half discount.
Yeah.
Maid Service for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in the U.S. it was running $225.
I concur.
Here in Mexico,
Well,
we pay about
she
30.
charges 350 pesos for 4 hours of work. We give her 500 pesos and she's thrilled for 4 hours work, which is less than $30.
And how often do you have the maid service?
Every other week.
Every other week.
Yeah.
Just the two of you might as well, right?
Yeah,
And this maid has been with you for how long?
This,
a year.
this maid has been with us for a little over a year,
Perfect.
and she's very pet friendly.
And careful with Bella.
Okay, so that's maid service. Home rental with a pool. 3-bedroom, 2-bath in the U.S. A home rental with a pool would be anywhere from $2,500 to $3,500. Here in Mexico, it would be about $900 to $1,400. So once again, that's a huge difference. And then without a pool in the U.S., a family home like that would be $1,800 to $2,500. Here in Mexico, a home without a pool would be $500 to $1,000. Now, of course, prices go up, and prices could go up at any time. This is today's prices.
Right. And that's a good range.
Also, though, keep in mind, the closer you get to the ocean, if you want ocean front, those are not going to be the prices.
Yeah.
We're not on the ocean, and these prices are not ocean front prices.
We're 2 blocks off.
Yeah. 2 blocks off the ocean. Been here for how long now, guys?
Going on 6 years.
6 years,
6 years
same
here.
place. Yeah, you tend to, once you find it, you just stay.
Well, we love this little complex. It's very nice.
It's perfect.
Very
Okay.
good. Okay, and then men's haircuts. U.S. runs about 40. Here in Mexico, I pay 14. And Judy also pays 14. So he
Yeah.
doesn't charge more.
They don't
for a
charge more
woman's
for a
haircut.
lady's haircut here than they do a man. Even though it still takes twice as long, 3 times as long to cut my hair as his, still he charges
Same.
the same price. It's the price for a haircut.
Okay, and then groceries.
Okay.
I would say groceries are probably about half of what they are in the U.S. Although some specialty items like wines can be expensive due to import fees.
And groceries just being the regular grocery stores like the Chedraui and Mega, and
Right.
you're not shopping probably one or two places, or?
Well, sometimes we go to Sam's Club, but we try to buy a lot of stuff from the little neighborhood stores, mom and pop shops, as we call them, because we just want to support our neighborhood stores. It's
And
really
close
convenient
by.
to have those.
And they're always close by, right?
It's
The
a
difference of
block or two
shopping-
at the most.
The difference of shopping in one of those little stores and going to the grocery store is if you run out of something, you can go in and get a cup of flour. You don't have to buy the whole bag. You could buy 2 eggs, or, so you're not having to buy a lot. But cost comparative, they're not any more expensive than the grocery stores.
Interesting too. Yes, and you could go on and on about the costs of groceries, but in most scenarios, I bet you guys buy the local kinds of brands. And instead of going to the grocery store and buying a Prego, which is the spaghetti sauce, you might buy the box, which is the
Exactly.
Hunt's spaghetti sauce.
Exactly.
And when you're traveling, you don't know that as much, but another reason why we have another question at the end. Okay, nice restaurants.
Nice restaurant for 2, I would say a full meal with maybe 1 cocktail each and a bottle of wine. In the U.S., that's going to run about $200 to $300. Here in Mexico, we've gone out and had a cocktail and a bottle of wine with dinner, and we've paid as little as 80 to about 120.
Okay. Do you have some thoughts on where that is?
We've got lots of favorites. We
It
eat out
depends
quite a
on
bit.
when you go. If you go out for lunch or dinner, it can be cheaper at lunch. You know that Casa is cheaper at lunch than dinner.
But I think it's true in the United States though. They've got lunch menus
prices.
and dinner menus.
Lunch
So and I think what do they call them? The senior citizens specials, where if you go out to dinner at 5:00, then you pay less than if you go out to dinner at 8:00. So
That works.
I think we take advantage of that here as well.
And the meal time is different here once you're living here as
Or once
well.
you're retired, you don't have to. You actually are not waiting to get home from work, and we're already home from work.
Okay, well, Bella looks like she's gonna not eat off the table any, so.
No, she's trying.
Okay, then we've got, interesting that you added this, not from personal knowledge, but I think from friends that you guys have.
Yeah, we have friends with kids in private school, and this is a big deal if you're moving here with kids. So I looked at kindergarten through 12th grade private school tuition. In the U.S., the average is $12,340, and here in Mexico, or here in Cozumel, actually, it's $9,918 is the average for the 3 private schools here in Cozumel.
That's one student, right, for the
Yes,
time
one
period.
student.
And there's some scholarships that are available on that too, correct?
Yes, there are.
Okay.
And then throughout Mexico, tuition varies widely from $6,300 to as high as over $38,000 in Mexico City. But some of the private schools in Mexico City are very exclusive. All the schools are internationally accredited. And as I said, the private schools in Mexico City tend to be the most expensive. Another thing I would point out about Mexico, and this is important, is public transportation in Mexico. It's cheap, reliable, and available city to city or within a city. And a lot of people here don't have cars, so they need public transportation. And it's reliable because it has to be reliable.
Do you have an example of that? Of your recent travels, are you talking?
Yeah, Audio, we took a bus from Playa del Carmen to Merida, and then from Merida down to Campeche. And I want to say that for both legs of the trip, for both of us, it was about $80 US. That's pretty reasonable. And the buses, they're clean, comfortable, and air conditioned.
TVs, bathrooms.
Yeah, they have bathrooms, they show a movie. It's kind of like being on a plane. In the U.S., people don't really like to travel by bus, but
Yeah, I think Greyhound gave us a bad reputation in the United States, but
Yeah.
ADO and the bus companies are great. And they have done a lot of traveling on the mainland. In fact, I'm encouraging a little travel vlog on Warren and Judy's ventures, so to speak. Anything else that we can add, guys? Good information, though.
The only thing I can think is, and this is just from a friend who has children in the private schools here. I'm gonna call it, sorry.
Is that the Jones family?
Yes, it is.
Yes. How did I guess?
Well, they have 4 children in private school here, and because they have 4 and are paying those expensive prices, they get 1 for free.
There you go. Motivation. And it's very much college prep too. So the one that they're going to has definitely got a great reputation for education. Some of the public schools now aren't as known for that. But and if you have any other questions, you can make comments on this, and you will see it on the YouTube channel. So I want to thank Judy and Warren for their time now, and Bella for Bella's attention as well. Thanks, guys. More on the YouTube. Like and subscribe if you would, please. And we'll keep doing some more good information about Cozumel and living in Cozumel every day.